Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of the alligator snail. Snalligator. Once upon a time, there was a little snail, and his name was Giblet. And Giblet, they called him Jib for short. Jib liked to go out and slime his way across the garden paths in Florida. In fact, he lived near a little canal. And he would slime his way across the garden paths. But Jib had a dream. Jib wanted people to be scared of him. Because ain't nobody scared of a snail. Jib would be on the path, and girls would see him and go, ew, because of the slime, you know? And Jib's like, what? It's how I walk. And he wanted people to be scared of him because he saw in the canal there was an alligator. And the alligator's name was Timotheus. And when Timotheus went through the water with his eyeballs above the water, everyone went, ah! And that's what Jib wanted. He wanted people to do that to him and not go, ew, ew, when they would see Jib. So Jib went into the garden. And he hid himself behind a leaf. And all of the other garden creatures soon heard hammering. Clang, 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 clang. And they heard power drills. They heard a chainsaw. And once they heard a weed whacker. We don't know what was happening there. And when Giblet came out, he was covered in armor. Like alligator scales. And Giblet, the snalligator, started to slime his way into the water of the canal. And he slipped into the water. And just his eyeballs on the little stalks were above the water. And Giblet, the evil snalligator, went and started to creep through the water. And he sneaked up on a duck. And the duck was sitting in the canal, eating breadcrumbs and doing other duck things. And the snalligator creeped up behind him or her. We don't know. Eyeballs above the water. Dun 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 dun. And he thwacked one of his little eyeballs against her because what's he gonna do? It didn't really have a mouth. And the duck went, looked over its shoulder, and saw the snalligator, and went, quack! Quack, 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 and started running across the water with the little flat feet across the water, and the snalligator went, and so Giblet the snalligator kept doing that. He'd go through the water, he'd sneak up on a frog. Ribbit. Sneak up on a frog. Slimy eyeball. Smacked against the frog's rumpus. And the frog... and yump. And the snalligator said...
But he held his eyeball because, no hands.
Well, he was starting to get little bruised eyeballs. Because when you keep smacking stuff with your eyeballs, it starts to hurt after a little while. Ever give yourself a black eye? Giblet did. And so, if you go to the canal, you might see 2 little black eyes above the water. Dun, 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 dun. And if you don't move fast enough, the Snail-Alligator will smack you with his slimy eyeballs. And you're gonna hear, ow. And if you run, you'll hear evil snail laughter. The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.